Hey, what's going on, everyone? My name is John. I'm a filmmaker slash creator and your host for Make Limited Podcast, where we talk about how to change our circumstances when life happens. In other words, when life gives you lemons, make lemonade. Today, we'll be talking about what you need, not what you want, which will encourage you in your next journey, or should I say, journeys in life. What's going on, everyone? I hope that you're having an amazing day. I'm super pumped to be here with you today. I am super excited to talk to you and just to talk to you about what is around the corner, and that is New Year's, right? We're about to enter into 2021 from 2020. We know it's been a very difficult year, I believe, for the world. It's something that we have experienced together, and yet as individuals as well. And it hasn't been easy. It hasn't been easy at all. It's been tough. It's been a difficult time for everyone. And so what I want to talk to you about today is about not about setting new goals, not about what we're going to do next year, but what about we do every single day. Okay, let me say that again because it was a little tongue twister there. What I'm going to talk to you about is about what we do today. That is my focus of this podcast. What we do today is so important, okay? Every decision that we make today, every choice, every turn, every move, it's going to affect the next thing that we do. And I think for so many of us, we were ready or we are ready for like 2021 to get here because we believe it's going to be a better year. We believe it's just going to be great. And honestly, the truth with this, and I don't want to sound, like I'm being negative about this, but I do want to point out this one thing that just because, okay, this is like how do you say? It's an example, I guess. Just because you had issues in one city, right, for example, doesn't mean that if you move to another city across the country that it's going to be better. Okay? That is not the case in 2020 to 2021. And I know, even myself, I am ready, right, for 2021, for new things, better things. But that's the same thing that I thought last year, okay? Last year in 2020, well, this year actually, in 2020, and when the new year came, I was like, this is the year, we're going to make it happen no matter what. And let me tell you something. We made it happen, right? But it was the toughest year that I've ever had in my entire life. Okay, emotionally, physically, spiritually, the toughest. Why do I say that? Because it was the toughest because I was in my own mirror. I wasn't in someone else's mirror. I wasn't in, showing a face or going to a certain location and trying to become somebody, trying to be somebody, trying to make people believe that I'm something. It was facing myself in my own mirror and looking at who I was and really asking the question, who am I? What do you want to be? What is it that you want to do? And to really rediscover what I'm going to share with you today. I think so many times in our lives, we think that if we just have something, our life is going to be better. If we have $1 million, our life is going to be better. If we have, every car that we want, or if we just had exactly what we want, our lives would be better. And to a certain extent, that is true. But is that going to fix you? Is that going to make you the person that you want to be? And I think in so many cases, we've seen it in movies, we've read it in books, we've read it in biographies and bios from people and all this stuff of what they did in their life. And we're able to see throughout history how year after year people did stuff that they only wish they had, right? And then we've seen people who have done stuff when they have what they wish for. And in so many cases, it has been upside down. What I mean with that is, in so many cases, what we thought we wanted is not what we should have. And in so many cases, you've heard this before, it's not what you want, but it's what you need. And I think in this new year, as we're moving forward, it is not what we want, it is what we need. It is what we need as individuals. It is what we need as society. It is what we need as a nation. It's what we need as a world. We need to look into ourselves and really ask the question, what are we doing? Right? And this is a question that I thought as a young person that was only meant for your career, was only meant to like what you want to become in the future, work-wise, right? Career-wise. But it turns out that when you ask that question of what you want to be in the future, you're not asking what title you want to put on yourself. You're not asking how much money do I want to own in the future. What you're really asking deep down in your heart is, what kind of person do I want to be? What kind of person do I want people to see me? What character do I want to become? Do I want to build? Because many people say you got to have a good character. You got to have good things. But they don't understand the meaning of what character is. Character is building some form of act of becoming something. Okay? That's what character means. So when you're looking into what character you want to build in yourself, you're looking for how you want to act, how you want to be. And that should be 100% throughout your life. Every single day, you should be that person that you want to be. And that's for 2021. I believe that we should strive for being the person that we need to be, not the person we want to be. Because in so many times, and again, we've seen it. People want to be. In 2020, people started doing online businesses. We started seeing celebrities and people who came from nothing to becoming celebrities themselves. They went to what they wanted, but yet they still don't have what they need. Right? In so many cases, we have people who have the money. And they go after chasing after money. That in the end, we've seen it time and time again. They're left when their young self is wasted. Their old self is left. And they have to face what they couldn't face. And that is who they were meant to be. Who they wanted to be when they grow up. And they've seen their past. They've seen their past and who they were. And they're ashamed of who they became. And now, as in they are in their last stage of life, they want to become the person they need to be. It's not a bad thing. It's not a thing to look at and be like, well, I feel terrible with what you're saying. No, I don't want you to feel terrible. Because what I like to say is, if you're still breathing, you still have time. If you still have breath in your lungs, you still have time. Each and every one of us in this world, as long as we're breathing, as long as our heart is beating, as long as we are moving forward, we still have time. You still have time to be that person that you need to be. Not the person you want to be. Okay, every new year we make a resolution of the things that we want to do. We want to travel, right? We want to make more money. We want to be more successful. We want to get a promotion. But yet we don't work on our character. And yet we treat people like if they're nothing. If they are lower than us, if they work in a lower job, or they're in a lower class, or they live in a house that is nothing, we look at them as beneath us. Yet we see ourselves as better than they are. And if we keep living in that cycle, we're living in a cycle of there's always going to be someone better. You understand? And that is literally the life that we live out, because we want to create this kind of levels of society that if you are not at my level, then you don't deserve to be with me, right? If you're not on my level, then you don't deserve things. But the thing is that we need to help each other. And that is the most important thing, that we need to fix our character, we need to fix our attitudes, we need to fix who we are in order to become better people. And I think one of the things that I've noticed in 2020, when all this whole, and still today, as we continue to push as a country, as a nation, as a world, to really fight this virus, one thing that I've seen that I believe and I hope that we've seen it as a people, as humans, is that how dirty we were in a public place. And I say that with very humility and humbleness because I do not leave myself out of it, you know? Because we all have a part. And the one part that we need to look for first is ourselves. Secondly is others. So it starts with us to be clean. It starts with us when we see something on the floor that is trash, to put it in the right trash that it needs to go to. When we see, something that is out of place, to put it back where it needs to be. One of the movies that I enjoy watching with, I believe is, Denzel Washington, Denzel. One of the things that I like seeing, one of the movies that I saw from him was The Equalizer. The first part and the second part, they're really good. And one of the things that I like about that movie that really, grabs my attention is where in the apartment that he was living in, it was graffiti, right? They painted on the walls, they spray painted on the walls, they just made it look ugly, put in the symbols and gang symbols, whatever. And there you have Denzel, of course he had a different name in that movie, cleaning the wall. And then a young kid who lived there tells them, hey, why are you, cleaning the wall? That's, the apartment's job, right? That's what you pay to live there. And in most cases, that is 100% true. But then Denzel replies with, you live here. This is your place. We ought to keep it clean. To represent who we are. It represents where you live. And I think in so many cases that happens. We allow things to become something because it's not our job. Because it's not supposed to be us. But yet, how we make a difference on this world is by making an act to do something that no one will do. Why? Because it's where you live. It's where people want to live in clean life, want to live, in this, clean world, what we call green world, right? But we all need to put a part of it. Not just getting angry when somebody doesn't do it. No. See, many times we want to get angry and we want to, harm that person who is harming the world, right? We want to, in a different sense, discipline, right? But yet, we don't do anything ourselves. For example, we see somebody throwing out trash, and what do we go do? We go pick it up and throw it at them, right? Because they're not even respecting, they're not keeping the ground clean. Yet, we're not teaching the lesson of picking it up and throwing it in the trash where it belongs. Why? Because we have too much pride. Why? Because there's just too much big of an ego that we just, it's there, they're supposed to do it. But yet, again, we're not building what we want. We're building what we need. First, you need to go to the process of fixing the things that you need, and then you get the things that you want. In so many places, we've seen it in a world where celebrities get what they want, and I'm not just talking about celebrities. This is overall, right? But where we see it the most is what I'm saying, is where we have people who came out of apps and became, socially popular and, got stuff that they wanted. And then you see them going to this world of roller coasters and arguing with people and making fights and doing all these things because they got what they wanted. They didn't get what they needed. It was a process. In life, everything is a process. Tree grows from a seed to a tree. If a tree was a tree, it would never be a seed. It would never start. There would no be need to have seeds. Why? because it would always be a tree. But the fact is that we live in a world where things have a process, and that process needs to be cultivated. It needs to be challenged. It needs to grow. It needs to find out its strength. It needs to break. It needs to become stronger. It needs to help the weaknesses that it has. Why? Because it develops our character. It develops who we are. It develops what we need. So for this year, I encourage and I want you to think about not what you want, right? We all want to have a better year. We all want to be healthier. We all want this virus to just leave and, be able to protect ourselves from it. We all want those things. But the fact is that there's going to be viruses and there's going to be diseases and there are going to be many things that we're going to fight throughout our lives and years to come. But the point is, it's not to get what we want, but for this year to be what we need. What do we need as humanity? What do we need? And it's going to be a process. Again, you got to understand it's going to be a process. It may not be easy at first, the process, but the moment that you start acting is the moment that you chose to change something for the better. And that process develops as we water it, as we give it sunlight, as we trim the things that don't need because it's not making it grow and it's not blooming. Those are the beautiful things about life. We give you what you need, and then you get what you want. And it's going to be 10 times more rewarding than what you ever thought. Thank you so much, guys, for being here, and I hope you have an amazing New Year's with your family, friends, wherever you may be spending it, and I wish you the best.